Picture this. You're on a packed bus winding through the green hills of eastern Congo. Someone coughs 3 rows up. No big deal, right? But in that same province, a new Ebola outbreak has already taken 65 lives. Suddenly, the ordinary feels different. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on what's happening, why it matters, and, most important, what tiny choices on the ground decide whether this virus fizzles out or flares up. Ready? Let's dive in. First, zoom in on everyday life. It's market day. A woman wakes with a low-grade fever. Does she stay home and lose the day's earnings, or shrug it off as just malaria and go sell tomatoes? A pastor wonders, should we skip handshakes at Sunday service? A miner far from home debates hiding his symptoms so he can finish a contract. These calls don't happen in isolation. They're shaped by trust in the local clinic, by last night's radio rumors, by memories of past outbreaks, and by one huge question. If I speak up, will help arrive, or will stigma slam the door? In this new flare-up, that social landscape can either slow Ebola or quietly clear a path for it. Now, widen the lens. Healthcare here is more patchwork quilt than safety net. A distant hospital with no beds, a church clinic with antibiotics but no lab, a traditional healer who knows every family yet can't spot early Ebola. Motorbikes double as ambulances. When rains pound, rivers become roads. And a single rumor, the vaccine is poisoned, can spread faster than any radio bulletin, weaving through villages like smoke. Step into one health zone and you won't see a Hollywood biolab. You'll see a few beds behind plastic sheeting and a hand-washing station made from a jerry can. A nurse holds a laminated checklist. Fever, vomiting, contact with a sick person? Check 3 boxes and you're in isolation. That quick call matters because early Ebola looks a lot like malaria, typhoid, or even COVID. When a patient is flagged, another chain reaction begins. A community health worker flips open a dog-eared notebook and writes down every seatmate, roommate, and dinner guest. Each name means a daily knock at the door. How's your temperature today? Miss one contact and the virus can slip through the net. Nearby, burial teams rehearse with mannequins. Funerals are negotiations. Can relatives see the face? Who approaches the grave? The goal isn't to bulldoze tradition. It's to bend it just enough so mourning doesn't become a super spreader. At the same time, vaccinators race the clock with coolers full of chilled vials. They don't vaccinate everyone, just the circles wrapped around each case. Neighbors, caregivers, the guy who shared the mining truck. That ring shrinks or widens daily as new intel comes in. Layered on top are the survivors, people walking home after weeks in treatment. They carry antibodies and anxieties. Can I safely breastfeed? Donate blood? Go back to work? Counselors and lab techs team up to answer, test, retest, and fold the science into village chatter one conversation at a time. Let that sink in. Think of the response like tuning an old radio during a storm. Scientists watch the virus's genetic station for static, tiny changes that could make it spread faster or dodge our tools. Meanwhile, outbreak teams act more like electricians than soldiers, hunting for breaks in the circuit. A clinic runs out of gloves? The triage wire shorts. Contact tracer pay is late? Daily home visit wiring sags. Data from those glitches flows back to HQ, sketching a living map. Where do death rates drop once care arrives early? Which neighborhoods welcome vaccines? Which trade routes keep seeding new cases? The map isn't the territory, but it shows where to lay the next line of defense before Ebola finds its detour. Each outbreak leaves footprints. Shopkeepers now hang hand-washing buckets like welcome signs. Miners trade vaccine gossip alongside gold prices. Pastors weave health tips into sermons. The real test? Whether these habits stick after the sirens fade. So before next week, ask yourself 3 quick questions. 1. What's one gap in my Ebola knowledge, say how ring vaccination works, that I can close today by checking the WHO or CDC site? 2. Could my social media habits be spreading fear? What's one post I can fact-check or simply choose not to share? 3. What's one practical way I can help? Maybe a small donation to a vetted group in Central Africa, or sharing a clear, evidence-based explainer with a friend. All right, let's tie it all up. So here's what we covered today. First, tiny everyday choices, a bus ride, a handshake, a shift in the mind, steer the course of this outbreak. Second, Congo's patchwork health system means rumors can travel faster than ambulances, making trust the real lifesaver. Third, the response is a living net. Quick isolation, relentless contact tracing, respectful but safe burials, and smart ring vaccination. Every missed link is a hole the virus can slip through. Fourth, science and logistics dance together, tracking viral mutations while keeping gloves, pay, and data flowing. And finally, the habits we build now, hand-washing buckets, rumor-busting pastors, informed social feeds, can turn crisis tactics into everyday muscle memory. Here's the empowering part. You're not in Congo, but you are in the information chain. By choosing facts over fear and action over apathy, you help tighten the global net that keeps outbreaks from becoming disasters. That's the power of one informed listener. Thanks for spending these minutes with me. If you learned something, share this episode with one person who needs clarity, not panic. I'll be back next week. Until then, stay curious and stay compassionate.